All right, let's turn the chat off on YouTube. Okay. Let me open up the Twitch chat. So we get anybody in there asking questions or anything. Try to keep an eye on that. And what is this? Let's see. Okay. I think we are ready. We're looking good. OBS sound. Yeah, microphone only, no desktop. It's not picking up the background. Okay, so I'm jumping right in. This PR I have here is where I'm starting, which is, I think, the last of our... I think it's the last of the ones from PyCon sprints. For the most part, maybe there's... See, this was my list of them. I need to go back through and double check, but I had ones that weren't done down here, and actually at this point... I believe this one actually is the remaining one that's not done. Maybe Circuit Playground. I don't think this is merged. It has a path forwards, and we can't really merge it until... Oh no, it is actually already merged. Okay. Right. Okay, so then it'll get updated in the core whenever this one merges. No. Not this one. The core one. NearDoc made it in the core. Let's see. Be linked in here. I probably scrolled past it. Right. Well, okay. Okay, there's actually two things, I guess, that we'll have to get done anyway. This one is in the library, and it will have to get merged because it makes a subdirectory with only stuff that gets frozen on the CPX. And then to go along with that, we need to change in the core that basically locks it into only doing that directory. So anyway, this one is... It is actually merged. There is some more stuff to do it that kind of came out during that same time period of PyCon sprints. But it has a path forward, and it is dependent on the stuff in the core. This one, however, debouncer, this is the one I'm actually going to be looking at. This one, I think we can fix up and merge now. We just need to change a couple of things. So there was some discussion about... Let's see here. There's some discussion about the behavior around using debouncer on kind of like arbitrary functions instead of pins. Really, debouncer was originally made to be used with pins. But it eventually got updated to where you can actually give it a function, which can be like a lambda defined function in line also, so you can kind of like hook it up to other things other than just pins. So there was some discussion about how to type that stuff because it makes it a little tricky because you might not... There's a bunch of possible types, including like very general things like any function that returns anything that can be kind of checked for Boolean truthiness. I don't think... So there was some feedback on this. but original author didn't ever make any new commits. Maybe what I'll do on this one is, so I was thinking about, which I did on a couple others this morning, was just finish them up. There were a couple of them where there were some small changes where it was like they came out as part of the review, like, hey, could we change this and this and this? And they hadn't done them or written anything back yet, and so I just went ahead and made the changes, and those people chose the option to let maintainers add commits, so I was able to get that in and get the PR finished up. Maybe what, because they did mention here, get to work cleaning up the rest of the types. So they mentioned getting back to it. Maybe I'll ping them one. I mean, if they are interested and willing and coming back to do it, I'm definitely interested and happy to have them do it. Maybe what I'll do is, if I don't hear anything back by next week, then I'll probably just finish this one up next Monday. I think I'll do that. Let's give them a chance. I mean, because they did mention they're working on it. I also don't want to like duplicate work, right? If they've done half of it and just need to get some more time to finish it up, like, there's no sense in both of us doing it, so let's do that. Let's see. Are you... Let's see. How do we want to say? Are you still working on this one? Let's see. Let's go. I will try to wrap it up. So working on this one to make the discuss changes. Okay, yeah, we'll do that. Check in. This way we at least have movement, and if they do come back and make the commit, then we can finish out the review and get it merged. If they don't, then I will plan on doing that next week. One of the nice things about having Mondays is I can kind of like have a big block of time where I can just go through the PRs and such. So yeah, I think I like that. Let's see, what else did I mention in the title? It's already been a little... Let's see, I said that one. Oh, I can't see the full title here. That's funny. Let's see the second. Oh, I don't want to hear myself. TabLayout, right. We're gonna look into, yeah, TabLayout PR, and then if there's time after that, I'll get back into the core vector IO stuff. Interested in getting back around into that stuff as well. So let me get this. So this is, let's see here. I need this. This is a new example from a community member, Paul SK on GitHub. Actually, I think that's not their exact name on GitHub. They're Paul SK on Discord. GitHub, I think it has a few more characters, if I recall right. But they made this example, display IO layout, using the new tab layout that I just was creating on the stream over the last couple of weeks. So Paul has made this really cool example which has like hot plugging sensors, so it will recognize when you plug and unplug the sensors and automatically, you know, start showing data from them and stuff. I don't know, let's see, are we picking that up? No, luckily it looks like the noise gate is stopping that. There's a motorcycle outside the window here. if they rev it up more, it might be coming through. So if you hear something loud, that's probably what it is. Hopefully they won't be hanging out right outside here for too long. So this is in as a PR now. Paul did a bunch of work to get Pylint happy, get pre-commit happy, reuse, the formatting, all of that stuff. Got it all squared away, made a PR with it. So we're gonna test out the newest version. There's been a couple of changes since the last time I ran it, which was, I think, Friday. I messed with it a little bit on the deep dive. We ran this version of it, so it's been updated a bit since then. We're gonna run the newest one, and then leave the review. If everything is looking good for now, then we'll probably go ahead and get it merged as well. So I am gonna get here, update. We can just update like this. And let's go there as well. I'm gonna save this one. This is actually my start of the new PyPortal interface. I don't know what we want to call this though. I guess maybe just interface updated. Interface updated. I don't know. You can close some of the stuff too. Stuff I was working on earlier. Okay. Whoop, spelled it wrong. Adafruit. There's two new ones. One of them has NTP, like it will try to fetch the time from the network and then use the RTC to keep it running, keep updating what time it is. And then there's one, I think the other one doesn't use the NTP. This one connects to the RTC, watches the time and ticks it along, but doesn't ever fetch the real time from the internet. So if the RTC doesn't start out already knowing what time it is, what clock time, Earth time, if you will, it is, then it won't know. Whereas the other one can fetch that from online. I do have the camera. I did not pull it up though. Let's get this part set up. Looks like we had some kind of error. Oh, did I start it? 24? Try again. Second time's the charm. Cat hair on there. Guess we could fonts. I think we should make the font optional. So it looks like it's loading up a Arial 16 PDF, and I don't have that one. And I think it's not in the PR or in the existing, yeah. Not in the PR or the existing examples. I think what we should do is maybe make that optional. I think we should just fall back on terminal font. And then if they do include this, it'll work, or they can change it to their own font as well if they want to swap it. And we do not need to then add it to the repo and have the license for it and such. It's nice, especially with Arial. I have no idea what there's a version of Arial that has a license attached to it somewhere. We could also get rid of this one. So what's the error? OS error? OS error. 36. Where we found this? No. No, 36. That can't be right. That would be like imports. Must have been 36 in a... Yeah. 229. Makes a lot more sense. Okay. This is where we were at. So why don't we, I think, we can get rid of this one. Let's wrap this one in accept OS. You can do that. Could also not call it font Arial since it might or might not contain Arial. I don't think that's a super big deal. Kind of depends how many times it's used as to how much of a change it is or not. Oh, wrong program. Okay, let's go this one. Oh, well, I didn't change it in CodePy, did I? Yeah, I should have done that in here. Okay. So page 3 has RTC data on it. I think page 1 would have temperature sensor if I had the same temperature sensor, but I don't. I actually ended up making a slightly different version of this. AHT20. We could probably get rid of these things, maybe? Just immediately start looping. Yeah, there's our temperature data. That was on page 4. Page 3 has RTC data. Page 4 has temperature data. And they're both live updating as well. So 3 has a different time this time around than it did last time. And it will be a different time this time again. 28 is the seconds there. temperature data changes as well. So this seems okay to me. I think the one change we do want to make is make the font optional like this. Weird. See, it doesn't want to show it because it's a large change. A lot of lines. That's kind of a low threshold. That was around 229, I think. Changing any of the code, really. Oop. Yeah, the rest of this looks good to me. I guess, I mean, like, there's things that could be tweaked still. Like, the triangle is pretty close to the text on page 1, but, like, it's not covering it up. And it's not that big of a deal. And there's always going to be opportunity to improve little things about how it looks. You could say, honestly, we could even do away with the shapes altogether on this one, because the primary thing it's trying to show is the sensor data. But it's also nice to have the shapes there because it's like a little bit of extra complexity that people can see and know, like, you know, hey, if I do want to add more stuff to these pages, here's how we do it. So I kind of see both sides of the coin on that. I don't really have strong opinions either way. I think it's totally cool to leave it since it's not actually overlapping anything. I don't think it's problematic. I think it would be also fine to remove them as well, because we do have them in the other couple of the other examples the same way. Eventually, I hope to change them to vector IO as well. That's our other thing I'll get into today, is hiding vector IO stuff, but that's a whole different rabbit hole. But yeah, I think it's fine to keep them. I think it's fine to get rid of them also. I don't have a strong opinion on them, so I think I'll just leave it out for now. We will look, is the font used in the other one as well? I'll run the other one. Yeah. I still have that copied. You still have that copied. Look at that. Okay. That. Oh, we can. I think we can get rid of this one. Where'd that go? Oh, there it is. Alright, so we did change that. Let's see. Whoa. Let's run that. So this one will take longer because it does connect to the network. I wonder if I could, like, pipe TO into a browser page so that I could have the terminal here with the cam. That would be pretty swell. Let's see. $479. Whoa, that didn't do. Isn't Control G? Yeah. Ah, I see. These should be, I think, root. They were root in the other one, right? Just like slash BMPs, or you could probably even do without the leading slash, and it would work the same. What were they in the first one here? Yeah, I think they should just be the same like this. So yeah, leading slash is technically optional in this case because the place where this script lives is actually the root. So the local folder and the root folder actually are going to be the same. Oh, many browser windows open. Oh yeah, in fact, these are here in this one. Didn't load. Oops, let's go one line up. File paths. File paths. I don't know. Is file paths 2 words? Hyphen word? I don't know. Use the same file paths as the other example here. So let's make that change and just make sure everything else looks good. I have to break out of the REPL though. Paste mode. What? I don't even know what that means. So again, this one does take longer because it's joining the network and fetching the NTP time, fetching the time from the network before it does anything else. Built-in font has no load glyphs. Oh, okay. We have a load glyphs. Well, we must not have had a load glyphs in this one because we didn't ever get the exception. And this one does. Here. I guess one thing is this, I think, will. I don't know if the built-in font has this. If this has load glyphs, then do this stuff. Not rerun. Oh, wrong window. Let's go in. Let's go back here. I don't know where it was actually at. Did I not change it in the CodePy one? Yeah. Yep. Okay, and so again, like, it won't show. Let's see, this one might be touch. Is this one touch? We failed to connect it. This we're expecting, right? Because it's back to still doing the other temperature sensor, which is not the one I have. Is this one touch? I think this one might be touch. Yeah, touch. So we could click these to move. So again, we have RTC on 3. This one also, though, is now showing next time until the NTP sync. So I think it's like every 5 minutes or something. It will fetch the NTP time. And then page. Which page was it that said ready a little bit ago? Ready. Page 1, label 2 said ready. Looks like this erased it, probably. I think the deal is, though, it would just it would have the temperature data if it could read it. And again, the reason it can't read it is because I have a different sensor. But due to the way the libraries have been designed to have the same API, we can just switch this and one other statement right down here. And now it should find the temperature sensor, start putting the data on the screen. I'm gonna get some more ice for my water while we wait on that to run. Be right back. Okay. Someone does say ready. I'm not sure if it waits for us to change. The page before it will change the label. Let's click around a bit. Got our NTP. Or, well, we got our RTC time, and then the next time that we will check in with the NTP. Oh, okay, temperature is on 4. Temperature is on 4. And it does show, and it's live updating there. And it is in Fahrenheit now. I think there's, I think it can actually go in both. Oh, and then we do get this error, glyph not found, because the built-in font doesn't have that, that glyph, that specific one for the temperature thing. Compatible. How's it going, Flantastan? On the topic of multiple libraries with compatible APIs, I'm a fan of this pattern, so it's a one-line change. Oh, yeah. RFM, yeah. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, definitely 100% agreed with, like, the closer we can make the API for a different driver that happens to be very, very similar, the better, because then the code can just be like drop-in replacements like that. You can just have 1 or 2 lines, comment one out, switch to the other one, and you're good to go. Our RFM 6.9 and 9x are like that as well. Yeah. Props to, I think Jerry did a lot of work on those libraries, Jerry N. So it is a bummer that this spams, you know, this much. Honestly, it'd be ideal if it didn't spam quite that much. But it's also not the end of the world, and it does function fine on the screen. And if we were to actually use the font that it says, I don't have exact. I wonder if this is shared somewhere already. Does it do stars? So here's a copy of it, but there's no license with this one, and realistically there should be. I think it just doesn't have as rigorous of a reuse check currently in the actions. No idea what size it is. Our properties 19. It says the size. Oh, pixel size 12 maybe? I don't know. This one does have, didn't it say 16? Yeah. Let's restart. Now it's restarting. Interesting. Oh, I think it, instead of ready, it would say like devices not found or something, or like please connect devices. I'm pretty sure I saw it for just a split second there. Huh. It does look different. So I don't see the glyph though. Maybe, well, but I mean, this font just might not, like my copy of the font file might not have that. I wonder where Paul found this one. Maybe we ought to just add it. If we, let's see, it really depends where it came from and what the license is. What was the name of this one? So I'm gonna look into this. So Nearduck just shared this. See if there's an Arial one in this. You know, the other thing is, why don't I grep? I don't know if my grep would find what I wanted. Would this find numbers after Arial? Should I try more specifically like this? Yeah, see, it wouldn't actually find that. Arial. Try this one. I guess we could find a temperature one. Open weather. Weather station helper. Maybe that one's more likely to have the temperature icon thingy. What is the name for that thing? There must be a better name than temperature icon thingy, right? Yeah, this one's definitely bigger. Nothing else. Of course, I think I just renamed that to 16, and I don't think it's actually size 16. And I do think BDF font files, the file size does go up with the font size as well, I think. Although I don't really know that much about the spec, so like, that's kind of just anecdotal. I think I've seen that before. Let me also look at, oh, what is this? No longer have unused licenses. Huh. Okay. Yeah, there we go. It's definitely bigger, and this one does have the temperature thing. So I mean, I guess if it's already used in a learn guide, theoretically it should be fine to use in a repo example. The thing is, though, in the learn guide, it still doesn't actually have the license file, and the CI is gonna not pass if we don't have a license file because reuse is part of it. Same thing here. Click on the bundle. Also, let's see, while that's opening up, I'm gonna find this thing. Oh yeah, just let me search. UG82. No Arial. Unless it's inside one of these. Oh. These are probably Helveticas, though. Oh, this is a good page to keep in mind. This is actually a really helpful page. It has previews of all of these by size. Where's the actual font file, though? Okay. The OTF, you would get the OTF and then convert it to BDF. I didn't see any Arial, though, so I don't think that's going to be a source for Arial. It is working, though. We got this one running. When we do fill in the Arial font, it does have its temperature icon. Everything appears to be working to me. We probably fetched, or we're going to fetch again from NTP in another 20 seconds, and it did eventually update because it now has today's date. And then the time, I think is probably UTC maybe, because it's like, yeah, it's 17:08 in my time zone. My time zone is 5 hours behind UTC for half the year, 6 hours behind UTC for the other half of the year, which is super awesome, let me just say. Yeah. So this just did the fetch in the background and updated. I mean, not in the background, like on another thread or something, but just like it happened and then it refreshed the screen automatically. Okay, I think we got everything here. I mentioned the font in this one. Loading glyphs will be optional. We'll wrap in the if statement. Oh, hey, Paul. Yeah, I was just about to leave. Oh, time zone gets set in secrets. I'm just about to post this stuff. Basically, I think there's just a few changes, like the making the font optional. I think we should do, or the other option is we do need to add it to the repo. So either we should make it optional, or we can put a copy of the font file in. The tricky part of putting the font file in, though, is we also need a license for it. And I'm not sure where the Arial font came from or what the license is. I will go ahead and put this. For the degree sign. I gotcha. Let's see. See if it remains non-optional, then we'll need to add the file, the font file, and a license for it to the repo. Okay. Everything else looks good to me, which I guess I should have probably put in here as well. Yeah, I do. I mean, I think the font thing is pretty cool. GFart. Oh, okay. So you. Oh, okay. You can set. I see. You can set. You can set. Celsius or Fahrenheit. Fair. What is it? Temp in? Temp in? There it is. Ah, I spelled Fahrenheit wrong. I don't know how to spell things. I gotcha. Okay. So you can basically, by setting it to true or false, you can control whether it's gonna be Celsius or Fahrenheit. So if we go false, it would go back to Celsius. Nice. Yeah, I like that. I like the little temperature sign thing too. I don't think it's a bad thing. We just do need to either have it be optional or include the font as well. And then including the font as well also throws a wrench in it because we got to find the right license for it. Whoa. Let me open this real quick. Posted a couple comments in Discord. Yeah, let me. I'll check it out in a minute. See, Grover, how's it going to you as well? Okay, one minute. I'm gonna read this over here. I can't share it on the screen because it's not a published thing yet. So unfortunately, there's not gonna be anything to look at. But it's fairly short, so I'm gonna read it real fast here. Updated. Okay, I refreshed it. I don't know if you're watching. Yeah. Nice. Okay, so in Twitch, C. Grover says comments in Discord. Is that in live chat or? Yes. Let's see here. BDF, let's see, yes for BDF. Yeah, okay, the size is proportional to the glyph size. XY bit matrix, number of displayable characters. Yeah, displayable characters also does impact for sure. Yeah, because you can, if you're like really strapped for space, you can also like generate a customized BDF file that only has the characters you need and gets rid of all the ones you don't, and then you can save a little bit of space from that. Well, it depends on the font file. Sometimes you can save a decent amount of space if it's a really big one, but can squeeze a little bit more space out of it. Yeah, thank you for confirming the glyph size, though. That part I wasn't sure about. PDF font file can be easily created and edited. Yeah, I have seen that. It's plain text in there. I'm not sure exactly. It's like, I mean, it's basically like text that represents bitmaps, I think, but I'm not sure the exact format. Sometimes the font source and license. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, sometimes I have seen that, actually. Sometimes it is. Let's look in that for Arial. I've seen that. Okay, that does medium normal ISO. MIT. Yeah, it looks like MIT actually. Yeah, thanks for the pointer. The we did find it in the actual file here. I don't know. Probably this is like a copyright symbol or something that it's not allowing to show for the right thing. But yeah, we could. And there's I mean there should be already an MIT. Should already be an MIT thing in here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We could totally. Since this, I mean, we do have this in here. We could totally just add the. We could add Arial and the license file for it, and then we can just use the information from here for the license file. So yeah, I would say kind of up to you, Paul. If you want to, I kind of like it, so I'm leaning. Now that I see that the license is here, I'm leaning more towards, I guess, just go ahead and include it, and then don't make it optional. Like just have it be part of the code like it is now, and then yeah, we just have an extra font in here with the new license. I would agree with that, C. Grover. That would be nice. Yeah, if we had the degree symbol in the built-in font, that would be really nice. Let's see. Trying to catch up. I have a couple of different chat windows and stuff, so I'm cycling through them, trying to catch up here. Okay, this is, I think you're telling me the around the line of code, yeah, to change the oh, interesting. This is also set up as variable, which is pretty cool. You can turn that on and off. USA notation, is that for the date? Let me do use NPTP also. Oh, gotta wait for it to say ready. You do use NTP false, does it stop the RTC also? Unplug it. Jostle there too. I don't remember what order it was in now. Yeah, I think maybe it was the other way around. I'm not sure. Ah, I see. Okay. If you put NTP, use NTP false, you're expected to use external RTC. I do have the RTC connected, but the NTP I think syncs it with the real time. So then it starts counting actual real time too. Well, I mean, it's always counting real time, but it knows the actual calendar date if it gets it from the NTP. Ah, I gotcha. Your month day. Can I upload a PDF file? I guess I could just link to it, right? We found it in oh. Okay. So Paul, if you want, go ahead and add a well, there's already a directory actually, right? There's already a fonts directory. Go ahead and add that Arial BDF font into here. And then you can make a license file for it with the same name as the font. And then inside the license file, it will use a different year, a different name, and it will have MIT. Whoops, it will have MIT for the license here instead of this OFL one. And the date and the name you can find inside of this Arial BDF. So it'll be this 2017, and then the name. Actually, you could honestly, we could copy this, most of this line. We could do 2017, the Monotype Corporation, all rights reserved. Then we could also do 2003 and 2007, Ralph Hancock and John Hudson. You include that as well, and then the MIT, of course. So yeah, if you wanna do that, and then if you make a new commit, it will just automatically update it on the PR page here. So if you want to do that, and then if you have any trouble, let me know, and I can try to help you out. And then I think what I will do next is start getting back into. See if this person ever said anything. I mean, it was only like an hour ago or something, if that, so I kind of doubt it, but so I don't have like my email up or anything. It's possible. No, yeah, okay. Back to core. There is already one. So let's see. So I have to add a fonts folder. There should be a folder already. There should be fonts directory already. Just need to add Arial 16 PDF in the license file for it inside of it. Because it has, if I go back to the repo here, it has inside of examples, it already has fonts. So go back here. This is the root of it. Inside examples, it has this one, and then it had this other font, which we're not using for these particular examples, but this one is used by a different example. And so the directory already exists, and the code, I think this code already does, already does look inside of it. So we'll just put that Arial 16 BDF inside the existing fonts. Okay. Okay. Where did this leave off? I think I figured this out. Yeah, for sure. I wonder if I could make those go to the other window. You move the shape and then set hidden true within one draw interval. You move the shape and then set hidden true within one draws interval. I think you will regress all display objects cleanup. Let's look at it in context. Sometimes GitHub's diff thing here is makes stuff look more convoluted than it is. I'm gonna check back here actually. So I think, like, I did not actually change this much of the code. I'm pretty sure what I did was add the if statement, which all of this stuff is now inside of. I don't think I actually changed the stuff that's inside of it any, as I recall, if I recall correctly. Close that one. Let's get this down a little bit as well. Pretty sure this one. Let's update main. Can we do it from here? I don't actually know. So maybe we need make fetch submodule also. Okay. So inside group, set hidden. It is looping through all the child elements inside the group. So this is when you set hidden equals true or false on a group object. It calls this C function. It's going to loop through all the members of this group. The part that we added is if vector IO is enabled in the build, then call set dirty in order to make it actually get refreshed the next time the screen draws. Here, set hidden by parent. So the one up here is if you set hidden true or false directly on a group. The one here is if you set hidden true or false on a group that contains this group. So the parent, we get hidden, but not because they hid us directly, the group we're in, but instead we're inside of another group and that parent group got hidden. So this is actually the same code. It just takes effect from a different situation. Yeah, here we go. So this is much nicer than the GitHub diff. So I added the if. The rest of this whole loop was here. The only thing we did was add the outer if and then obviously indent it all in. And this is inside fill area. And basically the logic is if we're not hidden, if hidden is false, then we're going to loop over all the members of the group and basically handle getting all the pixels from each of them. Fill area, I think, is basically like getting the pixels for a given object in order to like send them to the display. So if the group, so if we imagine scenario, which Warrior Wire is talking about, if you move a shape or anything and then set hidden true, you will regress all display IO objects cleanups. So I don't really know what they mean by this. But I do think if we move it and then we set hidden to true before this gets called again, then when this does get called again, hidden would be true, which means we won't go in here, which means all this stuff won't happen. And so I guess the question is, does that create a problem or not? So let's try some code with that and see if it does, if it is problematic. I thought there was sample code. Is there sample code somewhere? Okay, so one thing is I'll need to make a build from this branch, because what's installed now is like a released one, or at least a beta one, and it doesn't have this change in it. So we definitely need that. I could try to just use the build that's here, but I have no idea if I made a different build since then, so why don't we just make a new one to be safe. Excuse me. So this is actually a Titano. Is it just Titano? Seems alright. Maybe we should have done clean first. So I guess we will basically maybe turn off auto refresh and then move a thing and then set it hidden and then call refresh. And then I guess later on we'll also set it back to visible and we'll see if it actually moved or not. Maybe the thing that WarriorWire is talking about is that it would not show the latest update, like not show the move, essentially. Like maybe it would lose the fact that you moved it. Okay. Well, yeah, I don't know about the if it's not if it is under a different license, then we probably just shouldn't use the font, or we should find one that is under a font. I certainly could misinterpret what's there. Let's check though. See, this will run too. Oh, it looks like actually this did already run, so at least reuse is happy. That's a good sign. All rights reserved. I mean, we do have all rights reserved. I think is fine as well. As long as we have permission to use it is basically the thing that's most important. Hebrew open type layout logic. We didn't have an embedded license file. I don't know. The truth is, like, I don't know enough about this font or where it came from or the project or anything or any of the actual, like, copyright laws. I'm kind of out of my depth on this. I would say if there is any question, though, then we maybe don't want to do it. But if it's... My interpretation is, like... basically that this is making it MIT, but I could be wrong. I don't know what the layout logic, I don't know if that's like different than the font. Maybe that's not actually for this font file. But it is also used in Learn Guides, so if it is problematic, it would have to change there as well. And it has been used there for a long time. Hasn't been problematic yet. Probably lean towards just keep it in, like, if whoever this is finds it and says we're using it incorrectly, then we change it. Or if somebody who actually knows more about the project it came from or the actual, like, copyright law around it in the legalese and such, then we can get direction from them. But this looks good to me. It has all the same information from the font file, so we're not like hiding anything. It's all there. Reuse is happy with the format. I think that's pretty good. Let's see, did anything else change on this one? Nope. Font file, license file. Change up this playlist a bit. I mean, they probably do, but I don't think they're probably gonna use it for this, basically. It doesn't... I think instead of getting any of their lawyers involved, it would always probably just be like, let's use one that we know for a fact is okay, instead of having to look into it. I don't know that for sure. You could definitely reach out to, like, I mean, ultimately PT and Lady Ada would be the people that would need to get involved for it to go through any of the lawyers, so you could reach out to them. But I don't know, I suspect my best guess is instead of really getting lawyers involved, they would probably just say, go find a different font that we're certain of. But again, this one is used already in their own projects, so like either it is okay and it's okay everywhere that it's used, or if it's not okay, then like it needs to be changed in the existing projects as well. So I think I'm okay with it for now, doing it this way without really digging too much further into it. Yeah. And then we didn't have to change, so the other stuff that I did change we don't need because we have the font file now, which people can use, and this is inside fonts, right? Samples fonts, yeah. Okay, perfect. Okay. Okay. I think it's looking good at this point. It's the setup py example. Oh, but I didn't copy that to mine. Yeah, I guess there is a time zone in here. Where's mine? Can't look at it on screen, but I'm curious. Mine my actual time zone, or is it set to UTC in here? No, it's my actual time zone. Let's see, share it in the repo, share it in the repo. Whoa. Resolve these. It doesn't really matter if we leave them resolved or not, but it does make it easier if we ever come back to this for any reason to look at the flow of conversation if we do mark these, because they'll get folded here. You can always unfold them later, but it makes it easier to kind of scroll through here and get a sense of the timeline of what has happened. All right, there we are. Last number. It was new, like, API functionality when we go middle number. Let's see, tab layout. Yeah. folks can see there's like comments and stuff in the examples as well for more information about using it. Yeah, I would agree. I think a library of fonts would be cool. I think, yeah, there's a few of them scattered around a few places. This is one of them. Bitmap fonts library. Yeah, we could just add more to here. Probably is the best place. I mean, even if we just searched through all the Learn Guide projects and all the other library examples and found all the fonts used just in those places and put them here, that would already be a big cache of them to get it started. Yeah, I mean, I'm in favor of that. I don't know. Like, I definitely have lots of stuff that I would work on before that personally. I think certainly a PR is welcome for that, and I think it's probably something like one of these days I will probably get to it if it hasn't been done sooner. But if it is up to me, then it probably will wait for a bit. Because it would be nice, but they are out there, and personally, I know how to find them, which puts me in a weird spot of like, I know it would be better if they were easier to find. That is definitely true, but I also do know how to find them, and so there are like other things I'll generally tend to prioritize ahead of doing it. That's kind of goes along with what Niradoc was mentioning, though. With this, I pulled that up earlier? This I do not remember the name of it though. U8 GT U8 G2 U8 G2 U8 G2. I'm gonna try to remember that. But this is basically a cache of fonts that are permissively licensed. So this is another source. Like, we could pull some from here, convert them to BDF and or PCF, and then include them in our own repo as well. All of these samples they have are really nice as well, honestly. This ever finished building? Did. Okay, let's go to bootloader. Copy. That's not quite right. Titano? So just portal boot, or does it change on the Titano? Nope, still portal boot. Okay. Yeah, for sure. Okay, we got this installed. I gotta run to the restroom real fast, and then I'll be right back. So then we'll get back into this. We got the new version loaded up though, and you can see the shapes disappear now. So before, when I ran this on the current version, the shapes just stayed there, and of course that's because Vector.io didn't support the hidden property, but that's what we're working on. So I'll be back in just a minute. All right. So we, let's see. I think we probably can. I think this is probably easiest to test if we turn off auto refresh, but I actually don't know. So the problem is that's like in the constructor, I think. Hmm. Let's use an external screen. So then we actually have to have the constructor and we can just change. Well, let's look, I guess, in the docs. Is there a property? I don't think there is. Should bookmark this page, display.io docs. I'm here quite a bit. I did bookmark that index, which actually is quicker sometimes. I wish it didn't highlight when I searched, though. So, there's so many things. Auto refresh? Yeah. This is Boolean, it defaults to true. These are arguments, right? Not properties, or these properties? No, show, that's a function, which is property, basically. True? Okay, maybe we can just change it. So, like now, it should not, it won't draw anything. It's running right now, but we don't see anything because it never refreshed the display to draw any of the stuff we told it to. If we did it once right here, then we would see the beginning, all of our stuff, but nothing would ever change because we're not calling refresh after we change hidden. Of course, auto refresh would do for us. We could go here, this, and now we get the same behavior, blinking. We refresh every time. So this all makes sense so far. And so then the question is, if we, question is basically, if we move it, so let's put this after the sleep. If we move it and set it hidden at the same time, let's do Y. Let's see, what do we want to do though? Well, and what's it going to do the first time? The first time it's not hidden, so it's going to become hidden. Honestly, I don't think we need a full loop. Let's just not use a full loop, actually. Down by 100. Then sleep 2. And then call refresh. And so if we run it just like this, it'll stay visible until here. Then it will be hidden, and then we'll never see it again as it's written right now. Of course, we'll still tweak it later. So visible, and it finishes, right? It finishes because we commented out. We could put this back. Visible, 2 seconds, invisible, and it never comes back. So now the question is, if we let it come back now, where is it at? Is it at the plus 100 down farther? Or is it still where it was? So wait another second. I mean, we could print also, I guess, but... I guess we shouldn't trust the property though, right? This is all lower level, like fill area is way down deep in the core API, so the property could lie to us, I guess. If we put it could tell us y is somewhere, but it could be like actually getting pixels somewhere else. So then we do need to refresh. Okay, so hidden, move it down, but don't refresh. Sleep for 2 seconds, then refresh. It's gonna go away, and we don't know. Maybe it's gonna move, maybe it's not. We wait another second, we set it back to visible, we refresh, and then we'll see where it's at. It moved. Okay. I think that's fine, right? Isn't that behavior we want? Does the order of this matter if we change this and then true? Seems okay. What if we change like something inside of it, like label? Set of the group itself. What if it was label.y plus equals? Only the text moves down? Okay, yeah, no problem there. And I mean, like, we could do other stuff too, like... That still works as well. Maybe let's put this in front. Does this matter if we do the color too? No, that's fine. Okay. So even when we are hidden, we still are getting all of these updates, and they're taking effect the next time it becomes visible. So what if we do these after we refresh? So like, what if we do these while it's actually not showing, while it is hidden true and we cannot actually see it because we did the refresh already after we set it to hidden true? Do we still see that take effect? Yeah. And if we did it to the group instead? Yeah. Maybe both. Let's do the color and the Y of the group. Let's change something about the vector. Circle. What did we start? 25? 45? Might be too big. It might run into the square. It does. Let me move the square over. Doesn't matter, really. But okay. I don't know. I think it does what it's expected to. Let me see. I've tested it a bunch of times. Let me reread and see if anything else strikes me here. So it seems like this will break shapes cleaning up after they're set hidden. Cleaning up. I don't really know, I guess, what shapes cleaning up. What is that? I don't really know what that means. Let's look back in this. Cleaning up like garbage collection? I think. So basically inside of here, it is calling the, so remember back in this context, we're inside fill area, which gets called somewhere inside the stack in the core, like when a refresh is happening or is about to happen or something like that, I think, right? I don't know for sure. That's what I think, though, is when this gets called. We're about to draw on the screen. We need to get the pixels from each object to know what to put to the screen. So we're looping over all the members inside the group. First one, if it's a vector IO shape, then we're going to do this, which is basically calling the child fill area. So the display refreshing causes the fill area for the group to get called. It's going to loop over all the children, call the fill area for each one of them, and return true, it seems like, I guess. Returns true if something changed? I don't know. So that's if it was a vector shape. Next up is this one, which is if it is a tile grid, then it calls the tile grid fill area. And then lastly, if it was a group, then we call fill area on that child group, which is, you know, that would call this same function for the child group. So I mean, there's nothing in there about cleaning up, really, that I understand at least. What is this? Oh, okay, so we're getting, yeah, I mean, this is basically checking if it is a tile grid, slash also, I guess, setting the resulting object into here if it is a tile grid. It's kind of like 2-for-1ing a little bit, like it will be null if it wasn't actually a tile grid. Seems like it will break shapes cleaning up after they are set hidden. And so we set it hidden and then changed it. And then eventually showed it, and it worked. I don't know if they mean cleaning up as in changing and then like just causing to get refreshed. I did ask if they meant about like garbage collection. You move the shape or anything. Move the shape or anything and then set hidden to true. I mean, is there... I still don't really know what they mean by cleanup. Is there anything in here called cleanup? mean, surely there's something in the project called cleanup. But is it related to display IO? Grip. Cleanup? Lots of cleanups, probably. Whoa, that's not what we want. Go back. So I still wish that I had like an alias to make this always in. Oh, these aren't clickable. They're way less actually that it uses in if it's not clickable. Okay. Obviously, very quick look. I didn't see anything inside any display IO stuff. I don't think there is anything called cleanup. I think they're probably talking more generally about the idea of cleaning something up. Is it construct? I mean, is there like a destroy or something? Destroy? No. Update child transforms. Remove layer. Finish refresh. Remove layer? I mean, would be, I guess, some cleaning up to do. Does it have pop? Does group have pop? Oh, I need my gloves. Group? Can I go to it? Pop. Remove the item. Last item. So, what's the last item? The label? Okay, so we changed the color of the label. Label.x plus equals 55. It's going to move it to the right some. And then what we're going to do is this will hide it. Sleep for 2 seconds, refresh. Then we do all this stuff. We're not going to see it yet because we haven't called refresh again. Remove it. Now the label's not in the group anymore. Sleep. Show it. So we'll see it without the label after we refresh. So we still have yet to see the new Y location because of the parent group, the new X location because of this, and the new color. But if we put it back, and then refresh again. So do we see it in the correct place after all of that? Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Okay, this is good to know. I did question this one, because none of the rest of these had common HAL in the name. This one does. Or Vire at least thinks so. It's okay though. I do gotta get my gloves. They're probably in here. Air up one maybe. Well, go outside in a little bit. Actually, I'll want it to be cool. Okay. Well, I don't know. I'm still not sure exactly what they mean, but I did try a bunch of stuff to the best of my understanding of what they're talking about here. And I didn't see any behavior that was unexpected to me, at least. Everything that has happened seems to make sense with what I think I know about display.io. I guess we'll just put the new test. Okay, so we'll put our new example. We'll ask for more help, like clarification, understanding what they mean. We'll let them know everything seems to work in this example, at least. Yeah. This ever pass? It's passing, yeah, passing all checks. And I think we're ready for review, probably. I'm definitely interested in getting, hopefully where Wire will respond back. I've added them. Should ping them anyway, right? We can go ready for review. I'm interested from inputs from anybody else as well. Where wires, you know, getting them to take a look at it is especially helpful because they created vector IO, which is ultimately what this fix is meant for. Although it is interesting, like we actually, this could possibly be like an efficiency improvement in some of the other ones, because like the way this is actually handled now in group, I think it's possible. It's possible that there's logic inside of these children fill area functions that is no longer necessary. It's possible that that top level if statement maybe makes it so that these child objects don't have to necessarily manage all this themselves. I don't know that for certain, and I don't want to attempt to try that change unless like somebody points me towards it. But it feels like before the groups were not really handling making their children become hidden. Instead, they were like setting their children to tell them that they should be hidden. Whereas here now we're kind of just like skipping. Like if we are hidden, then we just don't tell our child to do anything. So we don't get any pixels back from it to show. That's how I think about it right now. I don't know if that's actually how it works, but it's kind of the understanding I have of it for now, at least. Let's see. So we got some extra testing. I think I marked it ready, so it'll come out of draft. Okay. Okay. So we'll see. I don't know where Warrior of Wire's at. I feel like the last couple of times I've reached out to them, they got back to me overnight, if I recall right. So they might be different time zone somewhere. I think I'm probably gonna head out for now with that. Got some like chores and stuff. Gonna go mow the lawn, do a couple of things around the house. So gonna get that stuff taken care of. It's beautiful outside, so that's gonna be nice. So yeah, I'll head out for now, and then let's see. I'll be back. Still possibly Friday. Yeah, I still gotta get with Scott and talk about Friday this week. I think I'll be back for deep dive though this week for sure. If not, and either way, I should say Saturday I'll be around for my stream. I might be back another night this week as well, because there's a couple other things I'm interested in working on this week that I might pop the stream on for. So you can follow me on Twitch if you want. You can get notifications if I do pop on other nights. But otherwise, yeah, thank you, all the folks. C. Grover pointing me towards the license file. Appreciate that. We found that license info, which is super helpful. Thanks to Dan, Fantastic Dan, anybody else that was watching, and I'll catch you all next time.